Hey everyone, welcome back. This is chapter 3 from my book, Healing Therapies for Long COVID. Melt the disease in love, finding your energetic anchor. So, if you watch the previous chapter 2, we talked a lot about the intuition and getting into a loving space and being able to feel in the bodies to look for remedies. And I briefly touched upon, well, what if you use the same loving energy to go into the disease, right? This phrase first came to me years ago when I was dealing with Lyme disease. And excuse me, I went out to the desert by myself for 10 days to get to the bottom of what I thought was going on. And in that place, got pretty scary out there. In that place, I had a moment where probably the seventh or eighth day, I started to freak out. Full panic attack. I'm in my tent, like, oh my God, I'm gonna lose my mind out here. The Lyme is going to eat me. They're gonna find a sack of bones laying in this tent, and I'm unloved, and no one will know who I am. And you know the story, all those crazy thoughts about um, being and dying alone and ending up in that fearful place, right? So I'm in this place, literally in my tent, having a panic attack, and this thought pops into my head: what if I love the Lyme? What if I love the disease? And it was like a million bells went off. Ding, 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 ding. Oh my God, that's what Jesus said. That's what every sage and saint, that's what Buddha said, Gandhi. Bless the enemy, love the enemy, right? And I had this moment where I'm laying out in the desert and it's like, okay, and you can do this. We're going to do this with the spike proteins. I'm holding the line. I imagine what the line looked like. It's like a worm, right? It's a little spirochete bacteria. And imagine this little evil worm. I'm holding the worm, bringing it into my heart. And I would say that my heart, there's an infinite flame. There's an infinite heart. There's an unconditional part of us, our spirit, our soul, that never dies. The body's going to come and go. We're all going to die. I hate to tell it to you. Sooner or later, you're going to leave the planet. But there's that infinite part of ourselves that's love, right? Whatever you want to call it, the God within, spirit. There's many different. We're translating the felt sense, right? In that loving space, I'm holding the Lyme disease. I'm holding this little worm when I thought, imagine it. And I had a moment of like, this thing is still alive. It's still part of the universe. COVID too, right? Barely. I mean, they're at like the bottom, especially COVID. And some scientists would say COVID is not even a life form, but I would say barely. It's it's alive, but it's still part of the universe. It's part of creation, right? It's a life form. And life in the universe is pretty rare, actually. Really, if you look out into space, the amount of emptiness. A living creature is Lyme disease. So I started holding it and I started having almost a sense of compassion for it. It's like, well, wow, imagine if I was Lyme disease. Imagine if this was my karma. Imagine if I was this horrible, mutated monster. What would I need to come out of that? Love, right? Love the monsters, love the zombies, right? You got to go in there, holding that in that infinite flame, draw it into your heart, pull it all the way in, kiss it. I love you. What's going on? Maybe don't get too close. What's going on with you, right? And in that moment with Lyme disease, it was like, whoa, this thing feels like it's from a distant planet, right? And Lyme had this sense to me that it felt like it had been manipulated with. It had been tinkered with, and there's a lot of people that say that Lyme and COVID were, created as a bioweapon, manipulated. It sure felt like that. It felt like that with COVID too, with the spike proteins, that there was some sort of manipulation. It's very, very mechanical kind of feeling to it. Um, but in that moment, when you bless the enemy, you weaken its power over you, right? It's like the zombie, the monster's like, huh? Oh my God, you're loving me? Rather than let's fight and get more revenge. Blessing it, right? I love you. I see you. I recognize you. We're doing that with the COVID. We're doing that with the spike proteins. We're doing that with any kind of bacteria, illness, disease. I see you. I recognize you. Just like in martial arts, where you bow to somebody, you look at them in the eye and you say, I see you as part of the universe, right? I bless you. Now I'm going to kick your ass. And now you got to get out, right? Which is the next chapter. We're going to talk about that. So the ability to bless the enemy, the ability to go in there, this is your number one medicine. Can you melt the disease down in love? Just like in the Wizard of Oz, right? I'm melting, right? That's what we're going to do. The disease, we're going to melt it with our love. I didn't think it was possible. And over the years, it became my number one medicine. And it became the reason I popped out of all the illnesses that I've dealt with is that huge. Love the enemy. So let's do a quick recap of that, quick meditation. So when we're in our loving space, what I like to do is a stop, drop meditation, where if you're freaking out, you're spinning out, I'm going to lose my mind. I am not going to, whatever, all the anxiety, the fear, stop. This is some limbic system retraining stuff. Stop, drop into your heart. Big breath, big breath. Just breathing with me. Drop into your heart. Think about the things that you love right away. What do you love unconditionally? My child, my grandma, surfing, music, art, dancing, laying on the beach in a beautiful palm tree, laying next to a river, being with my sweetie, Jesus, Buddha, Mother Mary, whatever it is. You know that feeling of unconditional love. That's the feeling. And once you get to that feeling, imagine the disease you're dealing with. In this case, it's COVID. Pull the spike proteins, pull COVID right into that love. Come here. Let me love you. Let me hold you. Yeah. Not having any fear. It's like Gandalf running down the hill into the orcs. Pull it into your heart. It can't kill you. Pull it in even closer. See it melting. See it vaporizing. Poof. I love you. Goodbye. Poof. See it melting. See it transforming. Can you melt the spike proteins into butterflies? Can you make them metamorphosize? Can your love transform them? Can you pop them into popcorn? Can you liberate them? Free them back to the universe, back to kingdom come. Melt them down with your love. Keep pouring out that unconditional love. And if you lose that sense, you go back to thinking about the things you love. What do I love? Go back to the felt sense and deep breathing and relaxing. Good. Go ahead and open your eyes. So that was a really short version of the much longer meditations you can find on my YouTube channel, on my website, and on Instagram, right? Melt the disease in love. This is going to become your number one medicine. And this is going to become your anchor, right? It's anchoring in this place of the breath of love, of the felt sense of love. That's beyond all the disease. That's beyond all of this, right? You have to continuously stay there. You can't trust the thoughts of an inflamed brain having bizarro anxiety. You can't trust that. You know, all you can do is trust love always, right? This is your number one medicine. All right. Thank you. And we'll see you in the next chapter.